Always going to be one of those things that you replay in your mind and want to have done something more.
That is a first responder describing the unthinkable today when they got the call to pull 3 teens from an icy pond in Parker, and 2 of the boys died. And we learned today that one of the boys was trying to help his friend who couldn't swim.
This heartbreaking story played out 2 weeks ago today. Denver 7's Jason Gruenauer heard from rescuers today. Jason, they are understandably still devastated about what happened that day.
They are, Eric, and so is this community. Just in the last few hours, we've seen more than a dozen people come here and add to this memorial in front of the pond in memory of where those 2 teens would eventually die. But if it wasn't for the quick thinking of a Parker police officer and a nearby tree branch, things could have actually ended up much worse. Now, Parker police officer Trey Biles was the first on the scene here 2 weeks ago after 3 teens fell through the ice. He used a nearby fallen tree branch, or one that had been cut down recently, to pull one of them that was still above the surface back to shore. He tried desperately to find the other 2 boys, but they had slipped below the surface of the water. Dive teams pulled the other 2 teens out later on that evening. One died that night, the other a few days later.
It's difficult to process. I mean, I'm extremely happy that Cole made it out of the water, but, you know, your heart is broken for not being able to help the other 2.
Now, Biles says he is not a hero, just doing his job despite the risks of going into that half-frozen pond to try to pull someone out of the water and off the ice. But what if that tree branch wasn't there? The Parker police chief said today that his department has ordered 75 ropes with throwable devices on the end for patrol cars to make sure all of their officers are properly equipped in case something like this happens again. Reporting live in Parker, Jason Gruenauer, Denver 7.
Such a heartbreaking story.
Right.
It's great that they're being proactive,
More
too.
tools, the better, too.
Absolutely.
That's good to hear. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Now, Max Gantnier, who died earlier this week, he was taken off life support over the weekend, and his family has not announced just yet his funeral plans.